I was born, raised, and educated in Canada. I now live in the U.S. And I really didn't get to know any Christians growing up. They're hard to find in Canada. But I got interested in astronomy when I was 7 years of age. And I knew from the age of 8 onwards that astrophysics would be my future career. And I was reading like 5 books on physics and astronomy a week. And every year I would do a different subdiscipline of astronomy. It was at age 16 that I studied cosmology. And that's when I realized that of all the different models to explain the origin and history of the universe, the one that was best fitting the data was the Big Bang. And if it's Big Bang, there's a beginning. If there's a beginning to the universe, there must be a beginner. And so at age 17, I went on a search to find that cosmic beginner. And I looked for him first in the writings of Immanuel Kant and René Descartes, and discovered they didn't have the correct cosmic concepts. So I put those aside. Then I began to look at the different holy books that undergird the world's religions, looked at the Hindu Vedas, the Quran, looked at the Buddhist commentaries, looked at the Mormon scriptures, Baha'i, and I discovered that none of them were able to successfully predict future historical events or future scientific discoveries. And I found in those books a lot of scientific and historical errors. And so finally, I did pick up a Bible. I was given a Bible by the Gideons when I was in the public school system in Canada, and I began to go through that Gideon Bible. And 2 things struck me about that Gideon Bible. Number one, it got all the creation events in the early chapters of Genesis correctly stated and the correct chronological order. And I was particularly impressed that it precisely followed the scientific method in describing the events of creation. And then as I read further into the Bible, I discovered that it predicted the 4 fundamental features of Big Bang cosmology, thousands of years before astronomers even had a hint that the universe had a beginning of space and time, or that it continuously expanded from a space-time beginning, or that the laws of thermodynamics were pervasive throughout the universe. And so I realized this book's got predictive power. This really could be a message from the one that created the universe. But I spent nearly 2 years carefully going through the entire Bible, searching for provable errors and contradictions. I found lots of passages I didn't understand, but I couldn't establish a single provable error or contradiction. And I found hundreds of places where the Bible had accurately, without error, predicted future historical events and future scientific discoveries. So as at age 19, I signed my name on the back of that Gideon Bible, committing my life to Jesus Christ, and began to look for opportunities to share my Christian faith. And years later, I got to meet Christians when I showed up at Caltech to do postdoctoral research. They showed me how to find a church. That church put me on their pastoral staff. And a few years later, they helped me launch Reasons to Believe.